Awesome.
Welcome to another episode of Chat GRC on the Blue-Lusional podcast. We have a very special interview for you guys this week. As you know, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's leaving. She's out of here. So, sir, tell us why you are here and what you're running for.
Hey, Devin, I just want to say thank y'all guys for getting me on the show or letting me be on your show. You know, it's simple. I will be the next congressman for the great state of Georgia to represent CD 14. I'm going to be the guy that's going to replace Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm going to be the guy that actually brings back some sanity to what we're doing up in D.C. because I'm the individual that's a Democrat. But on top of that, I'm the individual that has leadership in my whole entire background after doing 40 years in the military. And I plan to go to Washington, D.C. and work with everybody across the board to get real results and bring real results back here to Northwest Georgia.
Tell them who you are.
Oh, I never said who I was. This is going to be.
Let me tell you what I'm going to do.
You just said, I'm the guy.
I'm Shawn Harris. I'm the guy that's running for Congress. You know, Devin, I guess we should go on and tell the people the backstory on this. I was just outside working on the farm. My team called me and said, hey, Devin and his team, they're in there waiting for you. So the audience, you're getting the real Shawn Harris. It's going to take me a little bit of time to go from being Shawn the farmer to Shawn the politician. So I apologize, Devin. Everybody, my name's Shawn Harris. Some people call me General Harris. Some people call me all kinds of things. But what I want you to help me become is the next congressman here in the great state of Georgia.
Ooh, Big Brother General. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Big Brother General.
Big Brother General. Well,
this
is an election that's going to be fun because it's a special election.
Yes.
So this is not your normal primary. Guys, she is leaving her seat. So it is not going to be like she's just not going to run again. So there'll be a special election. And we already know how hard it is for people to show up and vote in primaries anyway. So this is why we're doing this, because we need you guys to start paying attention. This might not be the only person of Congress who's going to resign before the primary. So we might be seeing multiple special elections in 2026. So this is very important. But what I want to know, Shawn, is why you are running. Like, what inspired you to run? Were you already thinking about running against her before she resigned? Or was this something you saw her resigning and you were like, I'm going for it?
Yeah. You know, I ran against Marjorie last time. You know, in the world of politics, there's no trophy for second place. I came in second place. She beat me. No ifs, ands, buts about it. But the key thing about being beat, you can learn a lot. And that's what I take from my military experience of doing 40 years in the military. You learn from those things. And one of the things that we learned is what? 135,000 people voted for me here in this Ruby Red district. On top of that, 5% of the people that voted for Donald Trump actually voted for me. And then all the independents came to me. So we have a very good nucleus of voters here in this district. And to get more at your question, we were already running against Marjorie in this particular race this year. 2 quarters ago, both of those quarters, you can check the records, we actually outraised Marjorie. So I think Marjorie had a couple of things going on. She knew the numbers wasn't looking her way. She knew that the economy was bad, and she knew affordability was bad. And then all of a sudden, Marjorie started taking my talking points, and the next thing you know, Donald Trump turns on her. The Republican Party gets mad at her, and then all of a sudden she says she's going to resign. I want to make sure that your listeners understand Marjorie Taylor Greene did not resign. Marjorie Taylor Greene quit on the people here in Northwest Georgia. When she quit, she made sure that she quit on the 5th of January because on the 4th of January, she locks in her retirement. So don't feel sorry for Marjorie Taylor Greene. Let's let her go. And we need to just stay laser focused on what we're doing here because I'm confident that I think as of today, I'm running against 15 other Republicans in this thing you call a special primary. And I'm confident that we're going to beat every last one of them because somewhere in March, we're going to have this special election, and it's going to be one Democrat against 15, 16, 17 Republicans. And I'm confident that the Democrats are going to come out and vote. The independents are going to come out and vote. And Ronald Reagan Republicans are going to come out and vote for me. And we're going to win this thing and take it with 50 plus 1%. and it's going to be a great day. You're going to see us all over the news, and we're going to do great things.
Came with
Yes.
the numbers, the stats. He said, I'm going 1v15. This is going to be
He
get
said, any
ready.
more
man.
people want to run? Come on in.
Come on in. You know, the reality of it is, in this thing they call a jungle election, I don't, long as we can keep it one Democrat against whatever the number is, hey, that's their side of the ledger. I can't control that. What I tell my team all the time and all our supporters, we must win the day. Every day we're trying to win the day. That means we're already out knocking on doors. We're already making phone calls. We're already making sure we get our volunteers actually signed up so we can put you to work. And I'm doing what I got to do as a candidate. I'm talking to everybody. I don't care what the outlet, because we got to get the word out. Because guess what? You're exactly right. At least here in Georgia, it feels like we have an election every other week, to be honest with you. So people, a lot of times, the reason why they don't vote is because they didn't even know that an election was going up. So what y'all guys are doing helps me get the word out, because right now, if somebody would say, Shawn, when is this election? The truth is, I don't know. We are still waiting on the governor to come out, and right now he's saying he's not going to come out until January 5th and tell us when the election day is. We believe, Democrats and Republicans believe that it's going to be March 17th, St. Patty's Day. Think about that. St. Patty's Day is when we think this thing's going to happen. But again, until he comes out and tell us, we don't really know. But the key thing is, we can go out and start working right now, and that's exactly what we're doing.
Perfect. All
love
right.
it.
Well, as soon as we know, we're gonna blast it.
Yes.
We need everybody to pay attention. So every single interview, we're turning these candidates into teachers at this point, because nobody knows what's going on. Nobody knows anymore, which is crazy. Okay, but they don't teach civics anymore, so that makes sense. So please tell the people, what does a congressperson do, and how are you able to use your influence at the local level?
Yeah. The bottom line, and I'm glad you asked this question, because sometime at some of my town halls, I love everybody, but some people actually ask me, am I going to be able to help get the potholes fixed? That's not me. I will work with the city council. I'll work with the county commissioners, but my number one job in DC is to look for opportunities to bring resources here to our district. I'm not the entire state of Georgia. I work with everybody from the state of Georgia, but my focus is to say, what can I do from DC to help the people here in Northwest Georgia? And when I say help the people here in Northwest Georgia, what resources or what companies can I actually say, hey, can you come and open up a company or a business here that's going to bring 700, 800, 1,000 jobs that will be generational jobs. I'm not trying to bring in more McDonald's and Burger King. I'm trying to bring jobs here that your grandkids will have a livable wage, and your grandkids that work for our union and labor will also have a job. So that's what I do at the national level, but I will continue to work with our people that work at the Dome in Atlanta, and at the same time work with our cities and our county commissioners, because guess what? We're actually all on the same team. And after we get elected, regardless if we're Democrat or Republican, we all need to work together here in Northwest Georgia so that we can actually take care of the people.
Yes.
There you go.
It's as
That's
simple
what a
as
congressperson does.
It's as
That's
simple
what we
as
do.
that. But we have to. We love asking this question every week, because in our mind, it might be somebody who lives in your district that might genuinely not know what a congressperson does. A lot of them think they just go to DC and they hang out at the Capitol and they vote on legislation, and that's that. But it goes so much deeper than that. You can also do so much work at the local level, even while you're in DC. So I think people need to know that, and we're kind of giving a crash course, because we don't just interview Congress people, we'll interview people running for mayor, people running for governor. So while we're doing this, we also want people to feel confident in not only who they're voting for, but what they are voting them for. So I love hearing that. The resources is a really big thing. People want to hear that. They want to hear that jobs are coming in. They're not just, to your point, a business that might be open for a year or two. They want long term. They want to see the future. They want to see their grandkids or great grandkids have something set up that's going to pay them a livable wage. That's what affordability really comes down to.
Yes.
So we
I
absolutely love hearing that.
what I always tell people when I'm out and about talking, I'm somewhere every day talking and listening, because I think it's important for a leader to also listen. But when I'm out there, um, I tell the audience my job at the highest level is to be looking strategic. So
Hmm.
where we're gonna be not only 5, 10, 20 years from now, where we're gonna be 30 and 50 years from now. That is where I'm trying to set us up to be. And then how can I work back with the people that working at the state level to ensure that we are working together? I'll give you a real world example. Some of our counties here in our district, we have 10 counties in our district, and all of them are quite different, but some of our counties refuse to take the money from the Biden administration
I
and
remember that.
build
Hmm.
infrastructure. Okay?
Hmm.
Who I'm not sure if I can say a bad word, but Imma say at least damn.
You can.
Go
Who
for it.
who gives a damn who is in Washington, DC as the president of the country? But when the Biden administration was pushing out money for infrastructure improvements like broadband and all these things to ensure that people could actually get on the internet like we right now, but on top of that, putting infrastructure in so if you actually wanted to build affordable housing, you actually had the infrastructure underground so that
Hmm.
you can actually build these houses. Some of our counties and some of our smaller cities decided they didn't want it. So now we're trying to build houses or bring businesses in, and some of those businesses are saying, the math is not working right. We cannot afford to build the infrastructure underground that nobody ever sees. But if you can go and get that built, then yes, we can come in and build some affordable housing. We can come in with a company, but until you get that, I'm sorry, we got to go somewhere else. And little things like that is what's keeping us from actually being able to move forward. Now, I'm not saying that I want all our small towns here in Northwest Georgia to grow and be large cities like Atlanta, Georgia, Columbus, Georgia, Albany, Georgia. What I'm saying is I want to make sure that we have did everything that we possibly can so that when opportunity comes, if the local people want it, then we will bring it here. If they say they don't, then we'll take it somewhere else in the district. But at least we'll have these what I call generational jobs here in the district.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's something that people don't realize is that you guys also have your hands like in infrastructure. Like I
Yes.
think like people are finally learning what infrastructure is this past year, honestly. They're like, oh wait, oh, this
Wait.
is like
It's
Oh.
it's
public
not cute.
transit.
Yeah, most politicians don't wanna go and cut a ribbon at the real stuff that we call infrastructure. Because guess what?
Mhm.
It's
Hmm.
the gutter system. It it's
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
it's not pretty, it's
Yes.
not the building. It's
Mhm.
all the stuff that's underground that actually is put there so that you can build whatever you wanna build, but
Want.
if you don't have it, guess what? You'll never get it built
Yeah.
because it's gonna cost
Mhm.
a lot of money.
It's the
Yes.
stuff you complain about in your daily life, but you don't
You
know
don't
who
know. You can't,
Yeah.
yes, you
direct your
can't
ire
bring it back
towards,
to
and
what
it's
it is.
like
Every day I
it's the
look at the
people
news
taking it
every day
away.
I look at the news in Atlanta, I see another city complaining about the pipes for the city are more than 150 years old. Okay. The question that we should be asking our leaders, how many administrations knew that those pipes were getting old?
Yep.
Every last
Yes.
one of them. But how many of them wanted to be a true leader and say, "You know what? We got to fix our pipes that's underground that you will never see versus maybe putting up something else." And I'm not saying that something else wasn't good, but if you building it on top of pipes that's gonna burst every winter and you or have craters in your city, then somebody need to stand up and lead and say, "Okay,
Yep.
on my watch, nothing pretty will be built, but we
Hmm.
will solve the problem for we won't have this problem in the next 100 years."
Mhm.
Because many of our cities, the stuff was built back some was built back in the 1800s. That's how old the infrastructure is under some of our cities.
Mhm.
Wild.
Yes,
Wild.
it is. But I want there to be no mistake
Mhm.
that every single state is different. Every single state has been affected by this administration differently.
Yes.
But I want there to be no mistake that Miss Marjorie Taylor Greene has been one of Trump's largest, most influential supporters this entire time. The switch up just happened, guys. So she is directly responsible for how her district has been affected by this administration because she is allowed to have it happen twice. Just recently, she has come out with the affordability that her legislation isn't passing. And we're left here wanting to know, how has Georgia been affected by this administration? And how are you looking to come in and say, Marjorie, don't worry, I'll fix it?
Yeah, Georgia's hurting right now. Our farmers, our number one industry in this state is agriculture. As you know, our farmers are in the hurt locker because we don't have any place to trade when it comes to China and all these other places. In addition to that, here inside our district, like you mentioned, Marjorie has been our congressman now for 2 or 3 times, depending on how you want to count it. And she started talking about affordability. She started talking about healthcare. She mentioned that the only reason she started paying attention to healthcare is because her son or daughter turned 25, turned 26, and was coming off her insurance, which is very working for the federal government. But she never listened to the 73,000 people that are depending on the ACA until it became personal with her child. Now, yes, she started using my talking points. That's fine. I don't own them. But what I do own is, you vote for Shawn Harris, you're going to get real results. Because just this week, yesterday, Marjorie had the opportunity to stand with 4 other Republicans, 2 from New York, 2 from Pennsylvania, if I'm not mistaken. And those 4 Republicans crossed over and said, we need to make sure that we get the Affordable Care Act passed again with all the subsidies for at least for the next 3 years until we can work things out so that people are not in the hurt locker. Guess what? Marjorie Taylor Greene talked about all of that, but when it came down to it, she did not put her name on that piece of paper. She signed and voted for what the Republicans put forward that has nothing in it that's going to lower anybody's health care. So I just use that as an example of politicians love to talk. What I tell the people is watch how they vote. And what I tell the people point blank, Shawn Harris is not a real politician. What I am is a leader, and I got 40 years of experience in the military, knowing how to get things done and knowing how to sit down with people and work across the aisle. And what I will tell you right now, live on your show, is very simple. When I get to DC, every time I vote, it's going to be in the interest of the people here in this district because we got 40-some thousand veterans. We got 73,000 people dependent on ACA, and we got another 141,000 people that's dependent on SNAP. So that is a lot of people that are dependent on their representative to do the right thing because they're on the lower end of the spectrum when it comes to economics.
Yes, sir. All right. Let's talk about you being a decorated veteran. So how would you plan on creating stability for veterans when you win? Because I mean, we just saw them get that, 1776 payment, which they were already supposed to be getting, that was allotted by Congress. And I'm starting to see that some of them, the payment's not even going through.
No. Well,
No stability.
First of all, thank you for saying that. And what I always tell people is this: the military gave me the opportunity to live out a dream. And it does that for so many more. The military teaches us selfless service. And all of my leadership that I've been blessed to develop over time was built from service. So when you see me go to Congress, I'm a leader there, but my whole leadership reason for being there is to serve the American people and serve the people specifically here in Northwest Georgia, period. On top of that, nobody needs to brief me up on what's going on with our veterans because I am a veteran. And I know that the people that work at the VA, work hard. Okay? They work hard. The problem that we're running into is with the Trump administration are trying to cut the people that work at the VA. Something that just happened this past week. 35,000 doctors, nurses, and other healthcare providers that work at the VA, those jobs that are open, those are open jobs right now. Those jobs will not be hired. Our veterans, 43,000 veterans here in our district and millions of other veterans around the country that depend on the VA, the last thing that we need is less doctors because it's already a strain now to try to get an appointment just to go get your eyes checked.
Mhm.
I'm not even talking about the mental health
Yeah.
side of this thing because most of our veterans that are struggling with mental health, especially in rural communities like I live in our district, we don't actually have a mental health facility for our veterans. Our veterans go to jail. That's where they go is to the sheriff's jail. And after they come down off the crisis, they are released back out, right back into society with no help, no nothing. So
Unbelievable.
when it comes to our veterans, I don't need somebody to brief me up on it. I'm going to work on their issues every day. But in addition to that, when I actually win this election, on the very first day I'm up there raising my right hand, three things will be actually happening here back in the district. We will open 3 offices here in the district so that people that want to come and talk to my staff about what's going on in their lives and how can we help, that would be there. One will be in Dalton, one will be in Rome, Georgia, and one will be down in West Cobb. Right now, we have absolutely none. I want you to know, want you people to know that Marjorie, she has one office up in Dalton, but hell, nobody's there to answer any questions. And when you call the office, it takes you straight to Washington, D.C. But reason why I'm bringing this up is because this is what I'm doing for our veterans. Inside of those offices, it will be a second office that will have a veteran rep there, but that veteran rep will not just be somebody you come in and talk to. We got enough people talking to us. This veteran rep, you can come in and tell them that you got some medical issues or you trying to get your benefits to go from 10% to 20% to 15% to 100%, but you just don't know how to fill out the paperwork. Okay?
Mhm.
Those people in that office will help you fill out the paperwork and they will actually fill it out for free. Because what's
Wow.
currently going on with our veterans is organizations and companies are opening up, talking, sending you little notes of saying, I'm going to help you get your benefits, but they want to charge you, they're
Mhm.
scamming. So that's something tangible for our veterans. When I open up, get to DC on my very first day, my offices will be opening up. We'll already have those people in there ready to go to work, and they will actually help the veterans get to what they need to do. And then I will be tackling making sure that these 35,000 doctors and nurses, mental health care facility people should be getting hired. So I'm going to be working that. As you can see, when it comes to veterans, I get very passionate about it because I know what our veterans went through. We
Mhm.
got a lot of veterans that are combat veterans and a lot of veterans that have just they supported us from afar. So I want to make sure that everybody who put the uniform on gets the benefits that they have deserved. And I know it's great to say thank you, but we got to go further than just thank you because
Mhm.
guess what? Right now, our president could be trying to get us in another war down in Venezuela.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that you mentioned I feel like so many people when we bring up a question like this, how are you planning to help veterans? I feel like a lot of times there is just the blanket of mental health, but to your point, there are veterans that can't even get an eye doctor appointment. They
Right.
can't even get somebody to help them fill out paperwork to get them from point A to point B. We are talking a large scale start to finish that I mean, to your point, people served our country. They sacrificed not only their lives, families, jobs.
Mhm.
They come back, and we as a country have always said we do everything for our veterans. They have the highest service, the highest honor for them to come back. And to your point, for most of them to be met with jail time is
Crazy.
absolutely just
Absurd.
it is nothing that this Constitution was built on. That just should not be happening, and we have to talk about it. We have to. It's pretty much a question every single week for us because it's just my jaw can't drop anymore every week as we continue to watch our veterans just be thrown to the side, and then for our president to get up and thank them every day
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
and not do anything to help them. To your point,
Yep.
you can thank them all you want.
Yeah.
You don't do anything for them. What
Yeah,
do you expect?
And
let
then you
me
tell
just
them to go
add
commit war crimes.
yeah, let
Mhm,
me, just add one more thing onto this. When I think about our veterans and when I think about affordable housing, so there's 2 different things that's going on right there.
mhm,
When I bring back affordable housing here to our district, and we're gonna do it, but built into that affordable housing, it will be units that are built into that plan that our veterans that are homeless will have a place to go and have a study home. And the reason why I say that is because I live in a rural, small town at the small town at the small town district. Many of our veterans that when they actually are homeless, they are 100% homeless because we don't actually have a YMCA or we don't actually have somewhere else where you can go and sleep for the night. No, you sleep outside or you sleep in some
mhm,
abandoned house out in the woods somewhere. No, when I say affordable housing, I'm saying affordable housing not only for everybody else, but when we build it, a percentage of those affordable housing that we build throughout our district will be designated locations so that if they have veterans in Rome, Georgia, veterans in Dalton, veterans right here where I'm at in Rockmart, Georgia, we actually have housing or facilities that these people can go to and don't have to be sleeping outside and don't have to get in trouble with the law because they actually don't have anywhere else to put them. So that I just wanted to get that out there
Love that.
yeah,
because I think when it comes to our veterans, I talked about day one, but my veterans will know what I mean when I say day zero. Day zero is right now.
yeah,
We are actually putting plans together right now before I even get elected. So when we get elected, we're not saying I'm trying to do our homework. We done already did our homework. The paper's already been approved, and it's time for me to raise my hand, get there, and go to work on day one. That's what leaders do. Others talk about leadership. Some people even go to school and teach class about leadership. I'm a leader. I lived it for 40 years. I know what I need to do. And I got an awesome team that we're going to be taking to DC with us and working here in the district to get these things done quickly because Marjorie has put us on a path that we are hurting. And I'm
Mhm.
concerned that
mhm,
farmers, doctors, lawyers, business people, everybody, this thing is going to collapse on us if we don't get some leadership into DC.
mhm,
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
yes.
Yeah.
And you had already talked about back when we had asked about your district being affected, and you'd brought up
Hmm.
farmers, and
Hmm.
you are a farmer.
Yep.
So, you think because you're a farmer, you have a head start meeting these upset farmers where they currently are?
Yeah, I would tell you, some people. One guy asked me the other night. He says, "Well, you say you're a farmer, but you spend all this time in the military. Guess what, buddy? I was born and raised on a farm in Southwest Georgia. Blakely, Georgia, still is still a dirt road there, and we still raise peanuts, cotton, and soybeans, and we raise cattle. Those are the facts. Hence, as a boy, 11, 12 years old, I remember Jimmy Carter coming to our town and to our farm.
Nice.
I remember Jimmy Carter and didn't even know that he was a governor or president. I had no clue what the guy was, but I do know this. I remember seeing a senior leader come and talk directly to the farmers. That's what Shawn Harris is. I'm no Jimmy Carter, but I'm a farmer so that I can go sit down and talk with farmers. And when I say talk to them, listen to them, I know what they're talking about. I
Mhm.
actually understand,
Yeah.
what you have to do yesterday. On the Friday yesterday, you had to go to the FFA office, fill out your paperwork, get it turned in
Mhm.
so that maybe on the 22nd of this month, which I think is Tuesday or Wednesday, that they're gonna tell you you might can get a operating loan, and ultimately, if you do, they may send you some money in February. All that stuff I just rattled off to you, if I wasn't a farmer and knew how the system worked, then while somebody's trying to teach me how to spell farmer, the farmers will be left behind. That's
Mhm.
why the
Mhm.
farmers need to vote for Shawn Harris, is because Shawn Harris is the only one knows that when I get to Congress, I gotta get the farm bill passed, and I gotta get it passed for 2 reasons. One, the farm bill takes care of farmers when they get a natural disaster on their farm, but right now it's based on 2018. Input prices are out the roof, so it doesn't
Mhm.
your cost. But the other reason why I got to get the farm bill passed is because when the government shut down, everybody realized that the farm bill is how we pay for SNAP.
Yeah.
Did
Yep,
you
I
just
did.
get what I said?
Mm-hmm.
We call it the Farm Bill, but 60% of the money inside the Farm Bill covers SNAP.
Mhm.
What I'm saying to everybody here in the district is I have two major reasons to get things done. One, the number one industry in Georgia, the number one industry in this district is agriculture. On the other side of that ledger is 141,000 seniors and youth, children are dependent on SNAP in this district. Those two facts there says getting the farm bill passed is at the top of the list. I don't care if you want to say I'm doing it for farmers or you're saying I'm doing it for seniors and children. Either way, it got to be a priority. And either way, I got to get it done. That means when everybody else says it's time for us to go home on the weekend, I'm the guy you see. That's the only time you're gonna see me on national TV because I'm gonna stand up and say, "Time out. No, we
Mhm.
can't leave until we get the farm bill passed."
Mm-hmm. Everybody sit
Lock the door.
down.
I know none
Lock
of the
the
rest of y'all guys wanna talk about this, but we can't leave until we get the farm bill passed because guess what? The farm bill is the number one thing that affects this district. I don't care how you wanna cut it because right now, that if we had a good farm bill and we had good trade policies, Donald Trump wouldn't be trying to bow out to farmers right now.
Yep.
This little money
Mm.
trying to
Mm-hmm.
send down.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Exactly.
It is Marjorie herself. One of her reasons for resigning was that her legislation that she has had waiting around, that she is saying that it's not going anywhere. And to that, the rest of us are going, are you just going to blame that on Mike Johnson? How much can you blame on him? You didn't push. You weren't Shawn sitting there going, wait, you're going to put us on recess again and I have legislation here waiting to go. No, you're not going to see me getting on a plane and going on vacation until you call us back. I'm going to be right here on national news saying my legislation is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Where is my where is Mike Johnson? She
Mhm.
folded, she caved. She said, "My stuff isn't getting done, and so I'm going to leave." She quit on the district. Where you're saying, "I'm going to be there."
Yeah.
That's when you'll see me on TV.
What I
That's what they need.
let me touch two parts of that. One is when I look at Marjorie, Marjorie loves to point fingers, and I hope the audience can see this. Marjorie loves to point fingers at Mike Johnson and at others. One of the things I was taught in leadership, and I believe this to my heart, before you start pointing your finger at somebody, you need to realize that you got three fingers pointing back at you, and you need to ask yourself, what did you do? Okay? So
Ooh,
with
that's a bar.
what we just talked about here is this. When you in Congress, everybody's a boss in Congress. Everybody's a boss in Congress. So if you trying to get some things done, guess what? You got to be somebody that people like talking to, people
Mhm.
like spending time with, people's like saying, well, you know what? She or he's a nice person. I'm going to take the time to read their proposal because people write proposals every day. And I think I can get on board with this. I think the reason why so many of Marjorie's things never made it to the light of day is because she treated people so damn bad.
Mhm.
Mm.
The
You
difference
don't
is
say.
Shawn Harris is a leader that knows how to reach across the aisle. I don't have to like you. You don't actually have to like me. At
Mhm.
the end of the day, if your district and my district or your state and my state got a couple things in common that we can agree upon, then that tells me now we can bring something forward
Mhm.
together that has a better chance than passing than just a standalone bill that
Yep.
is just your name. So that's what the skill set that Marjorie never understood until the end. I gotta give her roses when it's time to give roses. The only
Yeah.
damn time she figured it out was on the Epstein file. And I agree
Mhm.
with her. We needed to make sure we get the
Mhm.
Epstein file released. We need to make sure that we take care of the ladies that were victimized. And but guess what? We got it. And I think it came out last night and a few pieces of paper I looked at. Only thing it is a blank piece of paper because
Black
everything has been
redacted.
redacted. So I just say that to say this. If you go to DC and you work in a manner that you can build relationships, those relationships will bring you fruit in the future. And that is the problem that we have been dealing with. The Republicans don't like Marjorie Taylor Greene.
No,
Okay?
they
That
don't.
let that just sink in with your
Oh
audience.
yeah.
That the
Mhm.
Republicans don't like Marjorie Taylor Greene. So if the Republicans don't like Marjorie Taylor Greene, do you think that the Democrats are
That's
gonna
like
jump up and say, "Let's bring this thing up"?
Yeah.
So Marjorie Taylor Greene is talking about Mike Johnson. The last time I checked, Mike Johnson is the leader of the Republican Party, and I still believe between today and January 5th, Marjorie Taylor Greene is gonna bring paperwork forward to get Mike Johnson kicked out of his position as
Yes.
Speaker of the House. So
Oh,
that's
she's good
her
at this.
he's good at
That's
it,
what she was focusing on,
but
not
that's
not
her
voting for
business.
ACA subsidies. She wasn't focused on that. She's focused on trying to get
Mhm.
Republicans to turn on Mike Johnson so she can file a motion
Correct.
to vacate a seat.
And
It's
and all
that's
I would
petty.
say to that is, okay, but how does that help the people
Mhm.
here in Northwest Georgia? How does that help you with your kitchen table issues?
Mhm.
And that's
Mm.
what it's all about, kitchen
Yep.
table issues.
Before I forget, before I get to the next question, what is it about her in the district that people like her? Like, I see footage, people will be like, oh, like when she announced that she was retiring, and say, oh, man, March is leaving. I love her. And I'm just like, what is it? Like, yes, I know, she loves to touch on, the affordability, and like she likes to talk about the kitchen table issues, and that's how she was able to get herself elected. But is that it? Is she like different, like that we're not seeing on TV? Like,
No.
what is it?
What I think what it is Marjorie has tapped into speaking in a manner that everyday people in this district would say that's kinda embarrassing, but if Marjorie's gonna do it, let her do it. So she's tapped into something. You talk to just everyday people, they will tell you that the way she kinda carries herself and speak to people, that's not the way we were raised here in Georgia, but that's her brand. But they will also tell you when they go on vacation, they don't want to tell nobody where they're from because they don't want somebody to say, "Oh, Marjorie Taylor Greene's your representative." So one of the things that I say to people is a very low bar. When you elect Shawn Harris to be your congressman, you're gonna be proud to say that you're
Yeah.
from Northwest Georgia because they're gonna say, "Oh, that's the guy who get things done." And
Mhm.
and so Marjorie, in my opinion, is the pass. We have moved on. She quit on the people, and
Yep.
now the people here in Northwest Georgia have an opportunity to choose something different, to actually and I'll just go on and say it plain. I'm a Democrat. I'm at the center. The question is where all the rest of those 15, 16, 17 Republicans that I'm running against? Because every last one of them that I actually see on social media and out there talking, I would never call none of their names, but every last one of them says it comes out their mouth, I'm down for Donald Trump. I'm whatever Donald Trump
Yep.
wants, we're gonna do it. Well, hell, what did that get you with Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Yeah.
Mm.
They're all
Absolutely.
Marjorie Taylor Greens.
We
Shawn
lost a Hyundai
Harris has
plant.
Shawn Harris has went on the record and me and said, "Yes, I'm a Democrat, but I'm a leader.
Mhm.
I'm gonna vote for what's best here in Northwest Georgia." That means some days the Democratic Party may be upset with me, and that also means that some days Ronald Reagan Republicans gonna be upset with
Yeah.
me, and that also
Mhm.
means that someday independents may be upset with me. One of the things that I learned as a leader, if everybody's in love with you, you're not doing your damn job. So
Yeah.
that is the difference between me, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and the 17, 18, 19 people that we're running against. And I'm looking so forward to us having a forum so that we can all be on the same stage.
Yes.
Oh,
And
I can't
and
wait.
that question comes down. Where is your loyalty? Is your loyalty
Mhm.
to the people here in Northwest Georgia, or is your loyalty to your party? I'm
Mhm.
the only cat that says, I'm part of the Democratic Party. But at the end of the day, I got to do what's best for the people
For
here
the
in
people.
Northwest Georgia. And Northwest Georgia is not Atlanta,
Mhm.
period. I don't think you get any of those other cats on your show, they're gonna say, "No, no, no, no. My first dedication is to Donald Trump."
Yep.
So
Gross.
there you go. All right.
Gross.
Yeah.
Hard pass.
Hard pass.
All right. So then when you do get in, what are your top 3 priorities? We might have already hit those, but
Yep. Top priority is making sure we get down this healthcare issue because I think this thing is going to cross right on into January. It's going to
Yep.
continue.
yeah.
On top of that, in addition to that, is going to be bringing some generational jobs here, and then 3, making sure that we taking care of our veterans. Now, with those 3 things, I'm also fully expecting that come January 30th, if I got my date right, the government's going to shut down again.
Can you?
I was about to bring
Okay.
that up.
So
Yep.
Good
I'm
luck.
I'm just a realist that says,
Yes.
okay, government's gonna shut down again.
Mhm.
We still trying to pull this election off. We still gonna be trying to do other things. So because I say that today on your show, when I get to Congress, the whole thing may have changed. But what I will do, and I promise you this, is before I get on the plane, if y'all guys call my staff and say, Shawn, get back on, I will then tell you what the 3 are at that moment
Yeah.
in time, because guess what?
Okay.
This thing is so fluid
Mhm.
that speaking now and speaking 100 days from now, we may
Oof.
get lucky and get some things done, or we may be in the same boat that we're in right now.
Yep.
But right now, those are my top 3 priorities.
Mhm.
We'll be aged another 10 years in another 100
Yes,
days.
yes.
Yes. Yes.
It
It's
was
how
a
we
time
have
I
to
used
be.
to have hair. Yes, yeah.
Right there with you.
Well, in order for you to win, people have to
Mhm.
go out and vote. And so, like I said earlier, it's already hard enough to get people to go out and vote in primaries, to vote in special elections, because, and especially I'm sure in your district, people are working. We're working
Yeah.
probably 12, 14 hours a day on the farm. They're not going to, how are they getting word of a special election? But
Yeah.
one of the biggest things that we have seen since the presidential election of 2024 is that a lot of people are checked out from the system. They don't believe the system works for them, and they truly don't believe their vote matters. So if somebody in the district before the special election came up to you and said, I actually don't even know if I'm going to go vote because I don't know if it even matters anymore, what would you say to them?
I'll tell them, "Hey, vote for change. Give me a
Mhm.
chance. I know you're disappointed." And I would just tell them, "Look, just give me that chance." Because in this district, and when I say give me that chance, that I'm talking to Democrats, independents, and Republicans to give me that chance, because when I win this, our district will not go from ruby red to blue or to purple. It will go from ruby red to pink. So it will
Mhm.
still be enough people, if they wanted to take me out of office. But if you give me a chance, we mentioned it very early back in your interview, but I kinda glossed over it. But I wanna make sure that people understand that when I went in the military, I actually went in the military in the United States Marine Corps as an enlisted personnel. Enlisted.
Mhm.
I was a private. And some kind of way over my career and ups and downs and betweens and everything else, I retired as a brigadier general. The
Yeah.
only reason I bring that up is because I may be one of the few leaders in DC that understand what it means to be at the very bottom,
Yep.
but also understand what it means to be at the top. And when I make decisions, I'm always at the interest of the person that's at the very
Wow.
bottom. I want to
Mhm.
make sure that I take care of that person. And that's what I would say to the person saying, why should I go out and vote again? Is because this time you got somebody different. This time you got somebody that you can see at Walmart, Dollar General, Tractor
Mhm.
Supply. You can just walk right up to me and talk to me. And the cool thing is, I will talk to you. I will not call the cops and say, no, this person's harassing me. I will say, no, I'm here to
Yeah.
listen, and I
Mhm.
want to be your congressman.
Yes. And
This
that's
is
what
why
we
we bring the
need.
people on. This is
Yeah,
why we
we
bring the
need.
people that we talk to,
Mhm.
because we're not being listened to, we're not being heard,
Right.
Yes,
and
this
that's
is
all we
a
need.
chance for us to right some wrongs, and I think all of us have allowed mainstream media,
Yeah.
corporate PACs,
Hmm.
Israel,
Yeah.
billionaires to
Do you
take
want to ask me
control
if
of
I
the.
go and take APAC? Are you asking me that?
Hmm?
I go and answer the question for you. I want to make sure
Answer
we
it.
get
Go
I
for
wanna
it.
get that out there. I am not taking any money from APAC, period.
There we
Yes,
go.
I served in Israel. I don't need anybody to brief me up what's going on. I understand that, but I wanna make sure that everybody understands, 'cause there's some trolls out there that said his last assignment was Israel, so he's gonna take money from AIPAC.
Oh
No, I'm
boy.
not.
Yeah.
I'm not taking any money from AIPAC. Nobody can buy Shawn Harris. When you say leadership matters, that's all baked into that.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure if you asked me the question or I jumped out front, but I don't care where I'm doing an
I
interview
like the
or
initiative.
whatever,
Yeah, we
I
like the
wanna make sure
initiative.
that's out there because guess what? That is one of those things that people, even Democrats, try to trap somebody on or put you in a box to say, "Well, if he's gonna do this, don't vote for him." Well, guess what? Here in this district, we need to get me in Congress so that we can do something for everybody,
Yes.
period.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
So I wanna make sure that you have that because I
Perfect.
have people constantly walking up to me, and guess where it
Mm.
never happens? It never happens inside the district, it never happens in Walmart, it never happens in Tractor Supply. It's always somebody else that's sitting in a damn office somewhere
Yep.
that's looking at a computer screen that says, "Hey, let's ask him this question." Well, there you go. I'm not taking
Mhm.
the damn money. I don't want the money, and I know those guys, they doing what they gotta do. That has nothing to do with me here in Northwest Georgia. I live in
No.
Rockmart, Georgia, and they
Well, he
never
got on
told
a
me to do.
plane and
He
went to
he
Israel
well,
one
he went to
time,
Israel one time.
so he's definitely on BB's payroll.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think people
and
have
I know
taken.
BB,
Yeah.
and at the end of the day, you can find a lot of pictures of me in Israel. That was my job. That was my
Yes.
job, and it was a top secret job, and I did a very good job at it, and that's why you should want me in Congress because 'cause I'm the
Yep.
only cat that'll be in Congress that really knows what the hell's going on. So, I
Mhm.
think I answered that.
It's a big question. I mean, like, we did our research when we heard about you. We were like,
Mhm.
has he answered that question? I believe you had on your Instagram. It was very
Yeah,
clear.
but
You answered
nobody
somebody and
reads it.
said,
No,
"Nobody
nobody
reads
reads
it."
none of my stuff.
Nobody reads.
Because
Nobody no,
every
nobody
single episode we do, we preface the interview saying we don't speak to candidates who are taking APAC money. That is just a line we've drawn in the sand. We want grassroots. That's what we do. But every single time, without fail, somebody comes into the comments and
But
says, "But are they taking APAC?"
exactly, exactly.
We could have it tattooed across our
Mhm.
forehead
Yep.
that we don't
Yeah.
speak to anyone taking APAC, and they will still ask. And yes, they have done digging. We've seen it with Jasmine Crockett since she's announced her run for Senate, that she went on a trip there in 2023, and they are, running with it. And everybody says, what does that have to do with Texas? What is it? What?
Domestic
I mean,
policy.
she went to Israel one time, and apparently that's their litmus test, is what they're calling it.
I
Is if you stepped foot in Israel,
yeah.
you love them and you bow down to Bibi Netanyahu.
I don't I don't think people understand when you asked that question earlier, what is the role of a congressman? Yeah, you're representing your district, but when you get to DC, you also are representing the United States of America, and the United
Mhm.
States of America is the leading country of the world.
Mhm.
Means our representatives, depending on what your background is or what you used to do, when you get to DC, you might need to get a better understanding. Well, what is the relationship with Israel? What
Mhm.
is the relationship with Great Britain? What is the relationship with
Yeah.
Germany? The only way you get that stuff is on the breaks. You get on a plane and you fly
You
over
go there.
and guess what? People like me, General Harris, that used to be an attaché, I'm the one who briefs you up on what are we doing as the military. The
Mhm.
ambassador talks to you what we doing from a political point of view. Somebody else talks to you about how we feeding the children or how we used to feed the children. Trump them cut the money off. But
Mhm.
all of these things helps you as a sitting congressman to understand it's not only your district, but now you actually have to
Yeah.
understand the world.
The world.
Because if you don't understand the world and we get into a war, you can't call back to your
Yeah.
district and ask somebody to brief you up because that information is only in DC.
Mhm. It is.
International relations are a thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
International relations.
100%.
We've had a relationship with Israel forever, and we will have to in the long run. The two things can be true. You cannot take AIPAC money, but also have to, at some point in time, have some sort of relationship with Israel.
Yeah.
It just the two things can be true at once. So it's just I think that's where things are getting lost is people don't believe that those two things can happen interchangeably. But that's where we come in and
Yeah.
try to calm down the flames on that.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
those are people, to your point, that, yeah, they're behind a computer screen and they are apparently the morality police. They know it all. But the people that are actually in your district that are voting for you are
Yeah.
not coming up to you at Walmart and they're not worried about that right now. They want to be able to afford to live. They want to be able to keep their farms. They want
Mhm.
to be able to feed their
Kitchen
family.
table issues. Kitchen table. Yep.
That's what we have to tackle first in order to do anything.
Can I just add one more thing? Because you mentioned
Mhm.
Jasmine, and I think she's gonna do an awesome job for him down there in Texas. She's already doing an awesome job for him in Texas. But because I have the experience over in Israel, and I think I should just let people know, when congressmen come over to Israel, they will come and see the Israeli side of the United States organization. But that same group that came to Israel, after spending a day or so with me on the Israeli side, they then go over to the Palestinian side. That's what so many people don't actually talk
And
about.
leave that out.
It's they leave that out that, wait a minute, the other half of the trip actually went and talked to the Palestinian side, and they then trying to figure out how can we get to some level of peace. And it's one thing to talk about Israel, it's another thing to talk
Yep,
about Palestine, but it's another thing to actually go there and walk the ground and actually see it with your own eyes so that you can come back here and figure out where do you stand on the issue. It's all
yep,
about getting information so that you can better make whatever decision that you want to make. And that's how the whole thing is played out. But so many times I hear and I have seen that the only pictures or only thing that people talk about was the first half of the trip, was the
yep.
Israel trip, and don't say, wait a minute, they did stay another 3 days.
In
Was it
You
Palestine.
heard it here
Yes,
first.
yes.
right,
We have to
right,
be better than trying to grab little snippets and pictures
correct,
and tweets and
That they're putting it in
with
our
no
comments. Oh, look,
context.
she went. There
Mhm.
she
right.
is.
Yeah, there's
And it's
never any
Forgetting about the
only
second
context.
half.
and Israel is not a big country, so it's only one airport. It's right outside of Tel Aviv. So
Yeah.
even if you were going to see the Palestinians, you still got to land outside of Tel Aviv.
It's just that whole part of it is that then their brain short circuits when you try
They're
to
like, but
to
wait,
do
wait, wait, wait,
that.
wait, wait.
But yes, no, thank you for clarifying and yeah, people will just continue to ask.
Yes,
And it's like,
yes,
hey
yeah,
guys, if you don't like Israel so much, how about we elect people who don't get money from
right,
them? I don't know. Takes us back to voting.
Yes.
yes,
We will scream until we are blue in the face, no pun intended, since we're
Yes.
delusional, but you have to vote.
You
If
have to vote.
voting was not important, they literally would not be trying to take it away from us.
Mhm.
and I
Point
I
blank
would tell
period.
you, these issues are very good issues that we need to stay laser focused on.
Right.
One of the things I talk about here in the district all the time is kitchen table issues.
Mhm.
When you're sitting at your kitchen table with your family. Now, if you're talking about Israel and Palestine, okay, great. That's your kitchen table issue. But if your issue is how are we going to keep the lights on? How are we going to pay our mortgage? How are we going to make sure that if
Mhm.
somebody ends up going to the hospital, that it doesn't make us go bankrupt?
Mhm.
That's what I believe when I say kitchen table issues. I believe people got
Yeah.
a very small circle. I don't care if you're
Yeah.
Democrat, independent, or whatever, got a very small circle, and they talking about that. They not talking about some place that's 10,000 miles away from here or on the other side of the earth. They're talking about right here because most people in the United States have never actually been overseas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most
Yeah.
people, most and that's not being mean, but
We're
most
not
people
cultured.
Mhm.
are just they live somewhere within 100 to 200 miles where they were born. So let's stay focused on the kitchen table issues because I want to make sure that we don't lose small town America because
Mhm.
that keeps me up at night. is that we're gonna mess around and get to focus on so many other things that all of a sudden, small town America is not gonna be here anymore, and all of
Mhm.
us gonna be going to Atlanta because that's the only thing that we actually have, and
Yep.
that'll be a major defeat for this entire state.
Mhm.
Gotta get our house in order first.
Yep.
Yes. Mhm.
Period. All
Yes.
right. We're at the fun part now that we've educated people on
Okay.
Israel and whatnot. So
Our fun portion.
yeah, I think you'd have a good answer for this. If you're running for president, who's your dream VP, living or dead?
My dream VP, living or dead. Did the person have to be a VP, or can I just pick
Yeah,
anybody?
whoever.
Anyone that you think would be a good VP for your
It can be
presidency, and
it
they
can,
could be
Obama.
living or dead. They don't
Obama.
even have to be a politician.
it can
Obama.
be me. I gave a lot.
Obama?
Yeah,
Okay.
Obama.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
And the
Perfect.
reason why I say Obama is the VP.
Okay.
That's not a slap on him, but the VP in many times, especially if the president haven't really been in the game, they try to pick a VP that understands DC, understand the world, understand whatever.
Mhm.
But then on top of that, that if something happens to you, that they
Mhm.
can
There.
step in.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's a good right hand.
So
It
so
is.
so that would be, I know he can't do it again, but I would definitely have him somewhere on my team to advise or do something, because the world is not an easy place. It's not.
Mhm.
And the VP, I'll say this, and I know I already said President Obama, but I'll say this because it takes me back to my team that I'm taking to Washington, D.C. with me. And what makes me a little different from others is when I go to DC, I will have Democrats, independents, and Ronald Reagan Republicans on my staff,
There we
Yeah.
go.
because I want to make sure that when we putting policy together that's focused here on
Checked.
Northwest Georgia, is that
Mhm.
everybody's getting a chance to put their eyes on it.
Yep.
And then my
Mhm.
most senior people on my staff, that's a Democrat, independent, and a Ronald Reagan Republican, I want to be able to say to them at 3 o'clock in the morning, because we're working,
Mhm.
did you read this
Did you
document?
read that?
Okay.
Mhm.
Question number one,
The
did
whole
you read it?
thing.
And
Mhm.
then if you read it, where are the one or two friction points in it that we need to adjust so it doesn't make any
Mhm.
difference? You're a Democrat, independent, or Ronald Reagan Republican, that we can all get it behind it because we're doing what's best for our district. The reason why I mentioned the Ronald Reagan Republican is, as a leader, every time I built a team, and I built a hell of a lot of teams and took them crazy places, I always picked somebody that did not agree with me or the way that I thought. I
You
think
have
you need
to.
to have somebody who's gonna challenge your
Right?
thought process, and
You know
Mhm.
what? Yes, ma'am.
real leaders do that. So I'm letting everybody know that when I win, some people are gonna say, "Well, Shawn, do you realize that guy standing up at the tie you got on a red tie?" Hell yeah, I realize he got on a red tie. I hired him. He is
Mhm.
a real Republican, and he
Mhm.
is a real one. He's the guy who's responsible to ensure that what we're doing here in Northwest Georgia is putting together something that's going to work for everybody.
Everyone.
Because I think that's what's been happening here in Northwest Georgia. Marjorie Taylor Greene only played to mega.
Yep.
She left everybody else out.
Mhm.
Okay, we see what that got us. Where I'm at, I want to make sure that we're going to have some hard discussions behind closed doors in my office. But when we
Got
come
to.
out with a policy or a bill that we're trying to
Yep.
move forward, we know with confidence that this is the best document that we can move forward for everybody here in Northwest Georgia, regardless
Love that.
of where you stand on the spectrum. That's
Mhm.
leadership, and that's why leadership matters.
Yes. Absolutely.
Love that.
Well, another fun portion,
Okay,
we're gonna play a game where we're gonna read you a quote.
okay.
We're gonna give you two people, and you'll have to pick which one you believe said it.
Oh, boy.
This
Yeah.
is this is pretty much which, evil politician said this evil quote.
Boy.
So only one person has guessed them all right. So the
Probably
bar
won't be me,
is
but let's go with it.
the bar is on the ground, but we have to start with something very short and sweet. This quote is, "I'm very upset about January 6th." Who said that quote? Lauren Boebert or Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
She was very upset. Very upset. Next, we've talked about Obama, so this quote is about Obama.
Okay.
This quote reads, "At a pivotal time in my life, Barack Obama gave me hope that a boy who grew up like me could still achieve the most important of my dreams. For that, I'll miss him and the example he set." Who said that? J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio?
Marco Rubio.
It was actually J.D. Vance.
For real?
He said that after Barack Obama left the White House because J.D. Vance grew up on food stamps.
I know.
And he thought that Barack Obama was a good example for him to grow up with.
But guess what? I'm not sure if I mentioned it. It was Republicans who actually asked me to run. The other part of that story is when I told them that I was a Democrat, they then turned back around and said, "Yes, Shawn, we still want to support you."
Mm-hmm.
Every other week, I get somebody asking me to just switch over and you could be our representative as a Republican. And I say to them all the time, if we start a relationship off on a lie, it's always going to be a lie. And then I go a step further and say, wait a minute, stop, boys and girls. Donald Trump has been a Democrat longer than he has been a Republican. And that's why he keeps getting confused on where it's supposed to damn be. So basically what you're telling me is J.D. Vance has changed so many times, not only his name, but he has changed so many times that hell. You should.
That man's thoughts are for sale.
Yes. Money.
He can't go home.
Mm-hmm.
He can't go home. I got on my Georgia shirt says home. I can go back.
Yeah, he can't go home.
He can't go home.
I don't like him there.
Because he wrote a book that says some very bad things about home. So I don't think he can go home. But I can go back to Southwest Georgia on a dirt road and everybody say, "Hey, Shawn, how you doing? Good to see you."
Yeah, and that's where the
like
internet's forever because
There
he
you go.
probably never wanted to have this quote living out there with how he is now. You know, so it's crazy to pull up some of these
Don't let us
quotes.
show up in DC because we'll be like, "Is this you? Did
Was
you
this
say this?"
you?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody says that I'm a never Trump guy, but nobody even talks about the fact that he praised Obama.
Oh, yeah.
Praised him.
Yeah.
It's
funny.
crazy.
It'll be funny if you go and look in the voters' registration. He voted for him.
Yes.
Be something.
Isn't that
Be something.
crazy?
Boy.
Well, next one.
Okay.
The quote reads, "I have many, many gay friends." Who said this quote? Pam Bondi or Nancy Mace?
Nancy Mace.
It's Pam Bondi.
For real?
Which I actually would have thought Nancy would have said this because this is very Nancy like, oh, I said this terrible homophobic thing, but don't worry, guys. I have many, many gay friends.
I have gay friends. It's cool.
You know what?
Cool.
I got to stop right here and say, y'all got the coolest show ever. I mean, I done been on a whole bunch of shows, but this is the coolest show ever. This is going to be the show that I remember out of all of them because I'm going to be driving somewhere and say, you know, J.D. Vance said he used to like
Obama.
You're going to pull up with the fun facts.
You have to pull up with the fun facts. Sometimes that's how you get them, you know?
You know J.D. Vance loves Obama?
Did you know that Pam Bondi said she has many, many friends?
Boy. Okay.
It's insane. All right, we got two more. Next one. This quote reads, "PBS was not a left-wing ideology. I mean, Air America was, but PBS was not. But anybody who tells the truth is now branded and marginalized." The devolution of the American press began in 1986 when Ronald Reagan abolished the Fairness Doctrine. Who said that? RFK or Ted Cruz?
Well, that got to be Ted Cruz.
No.
No.
It's RFK.
Boy, I'm glad it's not a real test.
Damn, sorry, I said we don't do gotcha questions.
Wait a minute. Hold it.
That's the only gotcha question.
RK said that?
Yep.
RK, that's...
Yep.
Those things he's talking about is connected to his family.
These people switch up.
I mean,
these people switch up. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's mind-boggling. It's absolutely... You're like, this can't be real.
No, that...
I had to double check. I was like, wait, another Kennedy. Definitely
not.
Nope.
No, I don't know how he gets to come to Thanksgiving. I mean...
Right.
Because he got money.
Boy.
He probably doesn't have to go to Thanksgiving.
They have to hate
he can afford to go anywhere else. Yeah. And we got the last one.
I got to get this one right.
This quote reads, "Like all Americans, I am skeptical when any government agency pries into our personal and private lives under the guise of rooting out threats." Who said that? Nancy Mace or Rand Paul?
Rand Paul. Nancy
Nancy Mace.
Nancy Mace. I knew it. I knew it.
You said Rand Paul makes sense sometimes, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what's crazy out of all of this is that they all say the same things because they get their talking points
Yeah.
from up above.
Yeah.
So truthfully, we could probably, if we really wanted to, go and find that Nancy May or Rand Paul probably said something along the same lines because they just get the same talking points and that's what they say everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of times that people have clipped town halls and all of the Republicans who they don't do it anymore, but when they did have town halls, you would clip and they would say the same exact word for word script with when they're answering questions.
You know, right now in the district, I'm doing town halls, meet and greet, but really town halls in every county. And I think I still got about 4 more to go. We almost do now, doing one almost a week, every other week now. And we're starting back up in January, taking a break for the holiday. But what I have noticed, I thought out of that 17, 18 people that I'm running against, that some of them would have started doing town halls. But I now better understand, just based on what you said, it's hard to do a town hall if nobody's sending you your talking points. You see what I'm saying? I don't.
Where's the script?
Where are the scripts?
Nobody gives me my talking points. It is 100% me, and I think that in itself leads back to leadership matters because guess what? If your talking points is the same thing as Nancy Mace, the same thing as Rand Paul, the same thing as Ted Cruz out in Texas, then the question is, does your district even matter? It's a cookie cutter thing. It makes no difference. And oh, by the way, those 3 different areas that I just rattled off are quite different from each other.
Yes.
100%. So really, it's looked like to me on one side of the ledger that is turning into DC tells you what to say.
Yeah.
And that's what you say,
that's
and
what
you
go
better
home and
stay
tell
on
them.
message. If you're not going to say that, then don't go out there. And I think
don't have
that's
the town
why
hall.
they're not actually having any town halls. And if I'm not mistaken, everybody just got on the plane yesterday, so they're going to be home now for quite some time. And I'll go on a limb and say that
won't be any town halls.
there won't be any town halls.
No.
You won't see
Epstein
anybody.
files are out.
No,
we gotta go home.
they gotta go home and hunker down.
Right.
We gotta go.
You will
straight
not
to the
see
basement.
them.
Yep.
Yes.
Straight to the basement. All right. So, final question.
Okay.
What is your hidden gem in Georgia? What's your selling point? Where are you taking us? Because we're gonna go visit everybody when they win. We got 2. You're gonna be the second stop.
Yeah. So when you come here, the gym that I'm going to take you to, I'm going to bring you right here to my own farm, and I'm going to cook you some steaks right on the back deck. I'll cook for you, feed you right, the whole 9 yards. Now, I see y'all looking at me.
We're going to
This is a farm. You're going to work.
We gotta work.
He's
putting us to work.
You're not going to just come here and eat up my food for free, but I'm going to feed you good. But I'll make sure that when you come, we're going to work the cows. We're going to give you the full
That'd
experience.
That'd be a fun podcast episode. Watch us work on the farm. But I'll give you a great
steak, the whole 9 yards. And you know, you because at the end of the day, when I bring you here to the farm, I'll invite other farmers, other veterans over so that you just get to meet everyday regular people and we'll just have a great time. So that's what I'll do when you come here. We don't have to go out to some fancy restaurant. You don't even have to have on matching socks. Well, I'll take it back. For my wife, might need to have on matching socks. But for me, I don't care.
Okay.
But you're welcome to come on over to the house. I'm going to work you. I don't have to worry about bringing some extra boots. I'll give you some extra boots because we got some extra stuff out in the pasture that you might not want to step in. But on the flip side of the coin, you will get a great steak. I'll cook it to the way you want it to be. Give you a potato, the whole 9 yards. You're good.
I'll work for the steak.
We'll work for our steak.
And then I'll wear matching socks for Mrs.
Yes, Mrs. Harris, we will put on our matching socks. We
There you
will
go.
we will film for the people, let
There
them
you
know what
go.
it is actually like to be on a farm for a day.
There you go.
We could
Yeah.
You'll
knock a
have
lot of
nothing but
things
fun.
out.
Nothing but
Yes,
fun.
we would have fun. That to me is the gem right there. Just
I love
showing
that.
how the average resident in your district is living day-to-day life. I
Yes.
think that's really the gem there.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
we're very excited. And before we outro out, we want to give you a chance to plug your campaign website
Yeah.
where people can donate. And if you have any events that you know of coming up that people can come see you.
Yeah. Yeah. Shawn Harris for Congress, what we have always asked people first, pray for me. I'm always upbeat, but this thing is not easy, not one day out the week.
Mhm.
The other piece I'd say is, hey, my whole thing is about kitchen table issues. But with that being said, I want you to give to my campaign what you can afford. Hence, I don't want you to give all your money, don't be able to buy any presents for your kids for Christmas. Okay, we're going to be okay. The other piece that I really am asking people to do is to go to my website. We're actually looking for volunteers right now, and you can be a volunteer no matter where you're at in the United States because we need people making phone calls. We need people
Yeah.
sending postcards, and then we actually need people that's close by to help us knock on doors because this special election is going to be very simple. It's going to be a turnout event.
Yep.
Who can get their people to the poll on election day, or in Georgia's case, we have early voting for 3 weeks, and then we actually have election day. What I've actually said to the team, Democrats usually win early voting.
Yep.
For me to win,
Yep.
I got to win early voting, and I also got to win election day.
Day.
And that's why I need so many people to volunteer. And I also need, if you can give money to our campaign, that we can buy the TV time, all the different things. And I just want to say thank you to y'all guys. I'm not sure I want to make sure that people know that before I got on your show today, I was out there working on the farm. My
Yes.
team called
Mhm.
me and said, "Hey,
Yeah.
you're supposed to be on a show." And I walked right in here and got on the show, but I want them to know that they got a chance to see Shawn Harris go from being Shawn the farmer to Shawn the leader that wants to be your congressman. I think on your show, you get a chance to see when you
Mhm.
asked me my name. Hell, I don't even think I told you. But as we went through the thing, I crossed over and
Mhm.
we hitting on all cylinders right now. So hey, I just want to say thank you, thank you to y'all guys. And the other
Thank
thing I
you.
want to say is this. Anytime you want me on the show, call my team. The answer is yes. And because I was out on the farm, and you see, luckily I had on this shirt today. It could have been real bad. And I'll even show your I was about to eat a bowl of cereal.
It's like us, guys.
It's just like
So
He's
us.
just
so
like us.
I just want your audience to know that, hey, you know, things are crazy. We're busy, but I'm just like them. I'm just trying to raise a family, take care of the family, do all the
Yeah.
things. But I need everybody to try go out and win the day. Because if
Mhm.
we can win the day, we can win the month, we can win the year, we win the election. And in this case, this election will happen within the next 100 days. So we
Yeah.
don't actually have a year. We got a
You don't have
couple
a
of
year.
months. So whatever you can do for this campaign, the answer is yes. Whatever
Mhm.
you do that I want to say thank you. And just to close it out is, I'm just so blessed to even dream to be a congressman. Think about that. How many people wake up in the morning and say, I think I want to go to Congress?
I did for like 5 minutes. I figured this would work out better. I'd be too angry in there.
Well, hey, guys, thanks. I'm so proud to be on your show. I had nothing but fun today. And I would tell you, this is the only show that I've laughed this much. This is perfect. This is
We
perfect.
We try
try.
to
We
keep it
try to
light.
have a healthy balance of serious and fun because
There
that's
you
what this
go.
should be. And we hope that we want to absolutely have you on again, but we would love to come up to Capitol Hill when you win, go up there and get to see you in person and see what you're doing. And we know you're going to be writing legislation. You're going to be asking the questions, and we want to be showing everything behind it. That's really where we want to take this. And we just hope that your special election starts a chain event that continues that blue wave all the way through
Need it.
primaries. We know yours won't be the only special election. We are looking at probably a couple in
Yeah.
between then and actual primaries. And March is pre-primaries for a lot of people. So we really want to carry the momentum that we have from this past November through this year. And that's what we're trying to do here, just as regular, everyday people who are trying to break the cycle of mainstream media and really show what it's truly like to be a politician and to be a politician that serves their people. So we know that that's what you're going to do. And we are so excited to see this short but very momentous campaign the next 100 days. And the second we get that date of your election, it will be blasted everywhere. Don't you worry.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Immediately.
Thank you guys for watching an episode of Chat GRC, and welcome to 2026. This is going to be the year of the blue wave that we wanted in
We're opening up.
2024. We're going to get it this year all together. So make sure you are watching every single candidate interview, even if they're not in your district, because you might know somebody that is, and you can send
Get
it
familiar.
to them. Yes. And make sure you're going to Shawn's campaign website. You can volunteer, or if you could just go there, get some traction over there. Follow him on all of his social media. And let's see him in Capitol Hill.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.